Hello, everybody. This is Tim again here with another movie review. I recently just finished Army of Thieves, the prequel to Army of the Dead, about Dieter's safecracking character, played by Matthias. I cannot pronounce this dude's last name. But Army of the Dead, I enjoyed as a Netflix film. I thought it was. I gave it a 4 out of 4. I thought it was a great, dumb, silly B movie fun time, despite its flaws. Obviously intended to start a franchise. This film right here is a prequel spin-off movie to that one with the Dieter character who's like the safecracker, wisecracker dude from that movie. He was pretty much the likable comedy relief. He gets killed kind of off screen on there. We expect or we're supposed to believe, but at the same time, since they don't show his death, I'm gonna go ahead and predict it right now. This dude's coming back for the sequel. There's no way they're going out of their way to give this dude an entire spin-off prequel film for him not to be coming back in the sequel to Army of the Dead, which already has a title called Planet of the Dead. This dude's coming back. As far as it goes right here, though, this movie it's pretty much an origin story for the guy. He's just like posting videos on YouTube about how he wants to be a safecracker and all that, which is kind of weird because it would if he ever got a job as a safecracker, you would think that it would be a pretty obvious way to track him down. But it is kind of funny because he gets like no views until like the chick from Fast and the Furious who played, I believe it was the character's name was Ramsey. This chick is really hot, and you got this other chick in here who has like I think black hair, who's also a member of the safecracking team. She's also really hot. So and there's this dude in here named Brad Cage, which his real name is Alexis, and he changed his name to Brad Cage because he loved like Nicolas Cage movies. That shit was hilarious. But they pretty much form a safe cracking team and they hook up with Dieter. He doesn't go by the name Dieter. I actually forgot his name that he goes by in here. It's his real name. It's like hard to pronounce, but I just kept calling him Dieter because that's what the name I was used to calling him from Army of the Dead. But he eventually his like love interest. A chick from Fast and the Furious that he ends up falling in love with or whatever and trying to make a move on. They have chemistry together. She ends up like putting that name on like his passport and all that so she can get him to the United States at the end of the movie. One thing I will say, as a prequel, you can tell that this romance is not really going to work out. But at the same time, though, the girl, female love interest character, she doesn't get killed or whatever. She pretty much sacrificed herself to get arrested at the end so he can get away. The Brad Cage dude has like a crush on the girl as well. He keeps trying to make a move on her, but she keeps turning him down. Later on in the movie, when they're like trying to get away or whatever, and the big action scene happens, and they're like late at getting the safe cracked open at the exact right time, and the Brad Cage dude has to like cause a disturbance to get the police to come after him or whatever, and he's like having this big shootout with these people in this other bank, and he gets in the back of the vehicle, and the chick and Dieter are like running trying to get in the back of there, and they throw the money in there, and I knew this was coming. I figured it was coming. She gets in there, and then he gets ready to get in there, and he just like shoves him out, and you find out that that was kind of their plan to eventually ditch the dude, but not so much like or use the safe crackers kind of like a pansy or whatever or a pawn. Um, and then eventually get rid of him. But at the same time, though, they weren't going to do it like this. And he kind of, you get the idea, of course, that he did it because he has a crush on the girl and he sees this dude as a threat. And then she tells him to go F himself, and she takes off. And the other girl goes with her, and the other chick eventually ends up getting caught for the final like safe cracking at the end of it. He keeps having the Dieter guy keeps having like nightmares in the movie because he sees like the zombie apocalypse happening on screen or whatever on the news, and he keeps having nightmares about zombies. And this one of the hot like black haired chick tells him or whatever that it might be like premonitions or whatever. Which Snyder made it. Zack Snyder had this in the script and for Army of the Dead as a joke, like maybe we're in a time loop. We're just dying over and over from the zombie invasion or whatever. Pretty funny shit. But they do some like references to science fiction type stuff and all that here as well as like a meta in joke comedy. The ending action scene with him trying to open the safe in the back of the van or whatever while the chick is driving it, his love interest, is pretty cool. He's like swinging around every which way. He does that big loud over the top scream they did in Army of the Dead, which was pretty funny. This guy also directed the movie, I believe, which he does a good job here directing wise. This is not a great movie. Like from 1 to 4 stars, I'd give it a solid 3 out of 4. This is a good movie. If you like heist films, this is a good one. It does seem weird to do a prequel to a zombie film not actually about zombies. And by the end of this film, this movie really doesn't have any reason to exist except to reinforce this Dieter character and add to him more like side characters that will obviously show up in the eventual Army of the Dead sequel. Because I'm telling you, this dude is not dead. He is coming back in Planet of the Dead, the sequel to Army of the Dead. I guarantee it. Um, but other than that, there's really by the end of this, there's really no reason other than that to really have that here to really have this movie. Maybe when they do the Army of the Dead 2, they eventually get to shoot in the movie or whatever, and he does come back, which I'm telling you he is. And most of these characters come back like his love interest and all that. That maybe then it'll make this film feel more like at whole at home as a whole in the universe, because right now we only got two movies. But yeah, all in all, I'd give it a 3 out of 4. It ends with him getting away because the chick helps him get away, and he's like, "I'll wait for you to get out of there." And then it ends with the final scene of him being recruited by Batista to link up with Army of the Dead. Any kind of problems? Some of the stuff like speeches that Dieter gives in here about like romance and all that, and about the dude who like built these safes and everything. It is a little cheesy. He does. It's not exactly needed. All in all, though, this is a better written film than Army of the Dead in terms of like a heist film. It's much better written. It's better written, I mean, than Army of the Dead was in terms of its heist film script that it had by Snyder. But at the same time, though, this is not as entertaining as Army of the Dead. Like the goofy zombie shenanigans of Army of the Dead, this is not as entertaining as that. So. So they're two really different movies. This is more of just a straight up heist film, which the other one was more of a zombie action B movie heist comedy. For what Army of the Dead was, I'd give it a 4 out of 4. Like, if you are more curious, you can watch my review. I thought it was a dumb film, but really fun. This one is more of just a standard heist film. I'd give it a 3 out of 4. It's a good time, nothing more than that, nothing less. If you like Army of the Dead, I'd say check it out. If you like this character, I'd definitely say check it out. He's probably my favorite character out of the franchise at this point because he's the only one that has more than one appearance. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good time. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again.